family, Matt Morris, excited to hop into a topic this week that I am amazingly passionate about. We're going to be talking about how to 10x your income without 10xing your long-term efforts. And so this is something that I have preached for many, many years. Those that have taken my coaching on this have done exceedingly well, and those who are super capable but haven't accepted this coaching have not realized the potential anywhere close to what they should have achieved. And so we're going to hop into that here in just a minute. As you guys hop on, let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from. Give me your city, your state, your country. And let me know if you're tuning in for your first time. If this is your first live here in the network marketer community, let me know in the comments so we can welcome you. And we do this almost every Wednesday, 2 o'clock Central Dallas time, unless I am traveling. We are here coaching to uplift the network marketing community, regardless of what company you're involved in. And so we are a total safe space. We have a one-strike rule and you're out. So if anyone is seen attempting to cross-recruit or poach or recruit in here, we boot them out, we block them, and there is no warning. It's one strike, you're out. We block people on a regular basis who are posting spammy posts. And so this is a safe space for the network marketing community, and it's one of the reasons why we have thousands and thousands of people in the group. The number one way that we grow the group is by network marketing leaders inviting their people here so that they can get trained and educated on what it really takes to succeed in network marketing. And so if you're seeing me for the first time, have spent almost pretty much my entire adult life in network marketing since I was 18. Took me 5 years to figure it out, have been full-time for over 21 years, and now primarily coach leaders in dozens and dozens of different companies across our profession. And it is just such an amazing blessing to be able to provide some insight and some coaching that transforms people's life. And today is a topic that I want to get into. One of the 7 key skills in network marketing. And so there's another, if you go to the guide section here in the Facebook group, you'll see one of the lives that I do talks about the 7 key skills of network marketing that you want to master if you want to get to a full-time 6-figure income or above. And the first 4 of those is really revolving around recruiting. And so it's finding people to talk to. That's skill number 1. Skill number 2 is inviting them to see it. Skill number 3 is presenting. Skill number 4 is following up and closing. And so if you master those 4, that's considered recruiting. And if you don't get good at this, it will be a long and painful career. It took me 4 years to figure out the recruiting side. And there were a couple things that I want you to pay attention. I want you to really listen to me on this. And I see we've got Michelle first live. Welcome. We got Michael in Germany. Very cool. We got Orlando, Florida representing. Illinois, first time live. Good to see you on. Michelle in Michigan. We got Cedar Park, Texas. We got New Jersey. Very cool. Glasses look awesome. Thanks, Jolene. I appreciate it. I did LASIK 20 years ago, over 20 years ago, and eventually it wore off. And so I see a little better with these now. So, and we got Mexico representing, Zurich, Switzerland. What's up, Peter? Netherlands in the house. Awesome, awesome. People all over the world today. And so I'm going to give you a couple nuggets of wisdom that I heard early on in my career that changed the game for me. And thank goodness I heard this. There were a lot of people who heard the same message that I did, but I really internalized it. And the first one was from one of my faraway mentors when I got started. So I signed up in Amway when I was 18 years old. Had a cute waitress invited me to a presentation. I had no idea. I'd never heard of network marketing before. I thought they were the only network marketing company in the world. And I was in, right? And so I went to a training, and my upline was a guy named Bill Britt. And I don't know, I haven't verified this, but my understanding is that his organization makes up maybe 40, 50% of Amway. Maybe it's more, maybe it's less. I don't know. That's not the point. But the point is he made tens of millions of dollars. And he said his formula for success was simple. He showed the business to about 900 people. He sponsored 300, which is a really good enrollment ratio. That's really good over the course of a bunch of years. So he showed it on 900. He sponsored personally 300. He said out of the 300, only 85 ever did anything, and 11 made him a multi-millionaire. And here's what I got from that was that not everyone that I show this to is gonna knock the cover off the ball. Not everyone's gonna be a leader. Lots and lots of people are gonna quit. It's one of the I did one of the lives a few weeks ago. I did the 4 truths of network marketing, and one of those is attrition. I told the story about how the founders of Amway sponsored 500 people, 495 quit, and 5 built a company that's done tens of billions of dollars. Amway's probably done $100 billion in sales at this point, right? And so when Bill mentioned that, I was like, I've got to figure out this recruiting game. I got to get really good at that. And I can't just rely on duplication. Okay, now we'll talk more about this in a second. Another pivotal moment was when I was on the phone. This was about 4 or 5 years later when I was first kind of like really figuring network marketing out. I was getting some traction in my group, and a guy that was in my group, he knew a guy that had made like $7 million or $10 million in Herbalife, and $7 million in Herbalife. And so I never ended up working with this guy, but he told me a story. He said he was involved in Herbalife for 10 years. He sponsored 726 people, and he made $7 million in those 10 years. And I just remember thinking, man, if I can just get really good at recruiting, I can make millions and millions of dollars. And so thankfully, I heard those messages, I internalized them, and I'm going to tell you, I've been fortunate. Some of you know my story. I've been fortunate to be the #1 income earner in 3 different companies over 20 years of being full-time, have made somewhere around $20 million, have helped hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people earn 6 to multiple 6 figures, 50 documented $1 million earners, thousands of people at a full-time income. And let me just not to take anything away from myself, but I've never been the best at anything. I've never been the best inviter. I've never been the best at finding leads. I've never been the best closer, presenter, trainer. I've never been the best at anything. But I always remember the people who really crushed it at the highest levels. They were always the best recruiters. And it was a matter of just figuring out the recruiting game, getting good at it so that you can predictably and consistently sponsor new people into your business on a monthly basis, on a regular basis. And that's going to be one of the biggest keys to success. Now, you also have to, do all the leadership stuff. I did a training a week or 2 ago on the 3 keys to duplication, to getting a new person started. You definitely want to watch that. Lots of golden nuggets that will make you way more money. It's here in the group, right? And so I just want to show you something, because I have obviously worked with a lot of leaders over the years, and there's so many people that I've worked with who have so much ability, but because they don't really understand this, because they don't get this and internalize this, they never make as much money as they should. And what I'm about to show you will make you millions and millions more dollars. Okay. And so this is I want to just illustrate duplication. And what I'm going to show you, it never happens exactly the way I'm going to draw it out, but it's not, it's the point that I want to make, is that with leadership being equal, if on a scale of 1 to 10 on your ability to lead, let's say you're a 7 or an 8 or a 9 or a 10, I'm going to show you how to make millions more dollars with leadership being equal. And so let's say, hypothetically here, you go out and on your level 1, you go and you sponsor 10 people, okay? And let me just tell you, if you sponsor 10 people in your career, you're not gonna make it. If you're new to network marketing, and that's what got you in, like what got me in network marketing, my upline had said, all you need is 6. All you need to do is get 6. And I was like, well, crap, I can find 6. You're never going to make money at 6. You're never going to make big money at 10, right? You got to go put in a lot more. It's just the reality of our profession. And so, so let's say you go out and you put in 10. Now, there's statistics in network marketing that say the average person in network marketing sponsors 2.2 people. I don't know who came up with that number. I don't know if it's accurate, but for the purposes of illustration, that's what I'm going to show you here. And so let's say those 10 that you recruit, they go sponsor 2 people each. So on your level 2, you're going to have 20 people. Your level 3, you're going to have 40 people. Your level 4, you're going to have 80 people. Level 5, you've got 160 people. Level 6, you got 320. And then level 7, you've got 640 people. Total, that ends up being 1,270 people on your team. Okay. Now, the challenge is a lot of people, they go out, and I've worked with tons of leaders over the years, and it's like they go sponsor 10 or 20 people, and then they're going to lead their way to the top. They're going to be the best upline ever. They're going to be there, support. They're going to like post motivational quotes and do extra trainings and all this. And then they wonder why, like, how come I'm not making the big money? How come I'm not one of the top money earners in the company? How come I'm not making $1 million a year? It's because you're trying to lead your way to the top. You need to do all those leadership things. You need to be a great support. You need to learn how to train and get new members started and promote trainings. You need to do all that. But leadership being equal, let me show you what it looks like being an average recruiter versus getting mastery in recruiting. Okay, so let's say instead of sponsoring 10 people, you sponsor 90 more. So you do 90 more. So you sponsor 100 people. So on your level 1, you sponsor 100. And if we do the numbers down, on level 2, you got 200, and then you got 400, then you got 800, then you got 1,600, then you got 3,200, 6,400. Again, the numbers never work out like this, okay? You could consider this to be like you sponsor 10 in 1 year, and then it duplicates year 2, year 3, year 4, right? It never works this way, okay? But hypothetically, I'm just making the point here. If you were to sponsor 100 and everyone sponsors 2, how many people do you have in your group? Well, you got 10 times more. You got 12,700. You're going to make more than 10 times more money. In this case, it could be millions, long-term millions of dollars more money by sponsoring 90 more people. So you sponsored 90 more people, but you have 10,000 more people in your group. And this is a one-time effort. Leadership being equal, you're making millions more dollars. Now, you might say, but Matt, I'm going to be the best leader ever. And instead of like getting my team to duplicate, everyone does 2, everyone's going to do 3. And I actually, before this, I actually drew those numbers out. And so it works out to be, if you sponsor 10 and everyone sponsors 3, you got 10,000. If you sponsor 100, you have 109,000. So people wonder, like, Matt, how did you build a team of 2.5 million customers and distributors in your group over the course of a 12, 13-year time frame? It's because I did all the leadership stuff, but what I did that was different than almost everyone else in the company is I didn't sponsor 10, I didn't sponsor 100, I sponsored 500. And if you do the numbers at 500, I drew that out too. And let's say everyone sponsors 3, it's 546,000 people. Now I was in the company for 13 years. Those 500 made me well over 8 figures, well over $10 million. Now, did I work 10 times harder than the other people that made a few 100,000 or 2 or 3 million? I didn't work 10 times harder. I did this recruiting thing that happens one time. I did a lot more of that. I consistently and predictably got good at recruiting so that every month on average, I'm putting in 2, 3, 4, 5 people. And it made millions more dollars. I'm going to share with you a couple other numbers. So I really want you to get this, because the challenge, like I think about a young man that I came on my team. He's a few levels down, had the goods. He was a professional salesman. He was in his late 20s, mid to late 20s, amazing salesperson, understood team building. And he went out and he sponsored 17 people, started creating duplication. His team grew to over 1,000 within about a year. And he couldn't hit the next rank because he had like one team that really took off. And I'm like, dude, you put in 17, go put in 17 more and you'll start hitting rank. And he never would do it. He wouldn't go do the personal activity, even though in his sales job, he had made well over 100 personal sales. at an average ticket price of like hundreds and hundreds of dollars, more than the network marketing company we were working with. And he wasn't willing to do the personal activity, and then he blamed the company. Oh, it's not duplicating enough. No, it's not that it's not duplicating enough. It's that you haven't gone out and sponsored enough people. So this is the key. And what I've discovered, like if I look at my numbers over the years, the way things have typically worked out, you got to understand these numbers. If you think you're going to like do what I thought was true, like you get 6, who get 6, who get 6, or 5, who get 5, who get 5. That's what so many of us were sold on when we joined network marketing. Unfortunately, is not a reality. So if you're new to network marketing, I don't want to burst your bubble, but you're going to have to do a lot more. The good news is it's going to be worth it. The good news is that's how you end up creating way more duplication in your group, because you set the pace as a leader. People are always like, how do I motivate my team? Here's the best way to motivate your team. Go start a new team. Go start a new team and show your team that recruiting is possible, and they're going to be 100 times more likely to go recruit. See, what happened, here's how I, built a massive organization, is I just kept putting new teams in, new teams in, new teams in. I was always showing my team and my leaders that it's possible to go build new teams. And so what did they go do? They went out, and many of them went and built new teams. It's how we created momentum. Your team's always looking at you. And what I've figured out over the years, and these are rough numbers, it could be more, it could be less, but for about 1 out of every 30 that you personally sponsor are going to be a rock star, are going to be $100,000 earner. Now, those are just how my numbers have worked out. Now, you got to get the recruiting down. You also want to get really good at getting new people started, promoting events, training. You want to understand the inner game. You want to know how to teach the inner game. You want to understand leadership like you know the back of your hand. And because I took the time to study all of this, these are kind of how my numbers worked out. So, oh, and by the way, of the 500, most of them quit. It was out of the 500, it was only about 9 who built really big teams, 1,000, 5,000, tens of thousands. I had 2 or 3 teams that were, well up hundreds of thousands. So most people are not going to do a lot. That's why you got to stay in personal production mode. It's why you got to put enough people in, because the duplication, as we thought coming into network marketing, the duplication that many people were sold on isn't reality. It's always duplication of leadership. Okay, so about 1 out of every 30 is going to lead you to a $100,000 earner. About 1 out of every 75 or so that you personally sponsor is going to lead you to a $1 million earner. Now, often that's not the person that you sponsor. Okay, I'll give you one example. I sponsored a guy who went out and sponsored a handful of people before he quit. And one of those people led me to someone who led me to someone who led me to a 6-figure earner, who led me to several other 6-figure earners. Okay, so it's not always the person that you enroll, but they often will lead you to those. Okay, so have that in your mind. Like if you want to have, let's say you're in a unilevel type plan, and you want to have 3 different organizations with a 6-figure earner, how many do you need to sponsor? Go sponsor 90. Now, maybe your numbers will be better, but if that leads you to having 3 different organizations that have a 6-figure earner, how much are you making? Hundreds of thousands, multiple 6 figures a year. If you want to have 3 different organizations with $1 million a year earner, go sponsor 75 times 3, whatever that is. I'm not a mathematician. So hopefully you're getting this point. This is why, and this is going to be a short broadcast, but it's such a valuable nugget that I want you to really get. What you want to do is master the first 4 skills in network marketing, which is obviously recruiting. Get good at that. Get to the point where it's like a faucet. You turn it on or off. And I'm going to tell you, I had no idea how I was going to do it early on in my career. In fact, years ago, before the internet, it was so difficult. Like, we were having to meet people cold on the streets. We were having to, run ads, all kinds of crazy stuff. Today, with social media, it is so much easier than it's ever been. And it's why so many more people in our profession are just absolutely crushing it. It's why we're creating more and more millionaires in network marketing. Now is the best time in the history of the world to be part of network marketing. Here's the other thing it does. When you master recruiting, I think you don't have to work as hard, because when you go out and you sponsor 10, 20, 30 people, and you're just not seeing the leaders rise up, you're always in like chasing, you're having to drag your team across the finish line. It feels like you're having to spin plates. You're like, why is my team not motivated? See, when you go out and sponsor 100 or 200 or 300, when every single month you're sponsoring 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 people every single month coming in consistently, you're not having to feel like you're having to drag anyone. Right? So my job is way less. It's never to motivate the unmotivated. It's to find the motivated. And when you get good at recruiting, you find the motivated. And it's like I almost feel lucky, because I've just keep recruiting more and more and more. And yes, I'm also doing the great leadership stuff. I'm also getting them started, plugging them into trainings and all that. But because I'm always, for the years and years and years, always bringing new people in, it's a joy. I don't have to constantly push people. I don't have to beg people to come to trainings. Why? Because if they don't come, that's cool. I got plenty of other people. So number one, I think you don't have to work as hard when this happens. The other thing is you have far less leadership issues. One of the things in mentoring so many different leaders in our profession, one of the common things that they come to me with is, I have leaders on my team that don't respect me. And I said, well, how much money are you making? How much money are they making? What rank are you at? What rank are they at? How many other, when they say, oh, well, this person in my group, they're a diamond. I go, how many other legs of diamonds do you have? And it's like none or one. I go, this is why they're not respecting you, because they know you need them. If your group knows that you need them, they're never going to respect you as much as if, they're a diamond and you got 6 other diamond legs. They respect the hell out of you, because now you don't need them. They need your support. They need to figure out how they can have 6 legs of diamond. And it's why I've had far less leadership issues than most leaders in our profession, because if they were to quit, I'm cool. I got multiple other legs. I'm qualified at my rank. Even if 1 or 2 or 3 other leaders quit, I'm still good. So they respect your time so much more. So if you want to get respected at the highest level, get good at recruiting, get good at creating leaders, and it just naturally happens. And so if you guys have any questions, feel free to put, someone said it's cut off, the video has ended, session interrupted. Looks like we're back again. If you guys have any questions, put them in the comments below, and I'll answer a couple of those. Again, this is a very, very quick live today. But it's so important. It's not just important for you, it's also important for you to teach this to your team, to hold your leaders accountable. So what happens is people get to the point where it's like, ooh, I'm finally at a full-time income, right? They get to that full-time income, they go recruit 20, 30 people, and they got a full-time income, and then they go into management mode. And management mode is the biggest killer to success in network marketing. Because as soon as you go into management mode, what's your team see? Oh, I just get to manage my team now. They go into management mode. They're looking at you going, wow, now's not the time. But when they see you constantly putting people in, it motivates them to put people in. I'm telling you, there was a point in my career where I literally could I could take 6 months off, a year off, never communicate with my team. And it wouldn't affect my income very much. And I'd hit the top rank in the company a couple different times. And it was like, I'm making well over $2 million a year. I can go hit the top rank in the company again. That's going to make me another, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 a month. But I'm already making so much. It's not going to impact my lifestyle that much. I went and did it a third time because I knew how much it would motivate my team to see that what was possible. So you always want to be proving to your team what's possible. Let's see. What's the ratio of recruiting affiliates versus gathering customers? My focus has always been more on recruiting distributors, but presenting both. So people always ask me, like, what's better, recruiting customers or recruiting representatives, distributors, agents, IBOs, whatever you call them? My answer is always both. Don't limit yourself. Like the way my presentations have always gone over the years, whether I'm doing the presentation or I'm doing it for a group, someone on my team, I'm going to show the products, I'm going to show the business, I'm going to show both. And then I'm going to let people decide. Did you want to be a customer or a distributor, or did you want to do both? Now, there are a lot of companies out there crushing it right now who are heavy customer base. In fact, very common in our profession. And so I would follow, the top leaders in your company. What are they doing? The top money earners. Like, what if you want to be a top money earner, do the things that the top money earners did. Now, they may be teaching a lot of customer gathering, which is good. You should gather a lot of customers. But did they also recruit a lot of agents, a lot of distributors? And if they did, you know how to become a top earner. Okay. So great question. Let's see, what's the actual ratio from inviting to showing to enrolling? And so that's a great question. It's going to be different based on everyone. And what I've kind of seen over the years is from inviting, let's say you have 3 people that you invite, you get 1 who will actually look at it. And out of every 3 who look at it, if you're really good, you'll get 1. Okay. Now, 1 distributor, your numbers may be higher. I'm just talking about recruiting affiliates, agents, distributors, representatives, whatever you call it. And so if you want to recruit 1 new sponsor, if you want to sponsor 1 new person in your group, then you need to show it to 3. To show it to 3, you need to invite 9. Okay, now that's kind of in a warm market environment. If you're doing this on a social recruiting environment through social media, the numbers are going to be higher, right? And so some people have a 1 out of 3 ratio, some are 1 out of 4, 1 out of 5. It could be 1 out of 10. It doesn't really matter. What I heard from Jim Rohn many years ago, he said, if someone is 10 times better than you, you still win if you're willing to show 10 times more. And so you're going to eventually develop what I learned many, many years ago, Sinaloa. Not the area in Mexico with the cartel, but safety in numbers and law of averages. There's safety in numbers, right? So what you lack in skill, you make up for in numbers, and eventually you develop a law of averages. So you know that for every 3 people you show it to, you're going to sign up 1 person. And you know that from a social media standpoint, you need to reach out to X number of people to do this. In fact, that leads me to something that we show our inner circle. And this is not for everyone. This is not for most people in the group. If you have any desire to be personally mentored by myself, I do have 2 other $1 million earners that I do this with. And we teach the 3 strategic pillars of success in network marketing. Now, the 3 pillars, not sexy at all. Not sexy, okay? But they're pillars. They're foundational. And to build a really tall building, you got to dig a really deep foundation. What are the pillars? The pillars are the internal game, internal mastery, being able, and here's the biggest thing that holds people back, is not being able to get yourself to do the things that you know you need to do. And it might be fear. It might be fear of rejection. It might be fear of stepping out of your comfort zone. It might be fear of showing up as an influencer on social media, fear of doing short form videos, fear of doing posts. It might be just procrastination. Whatever it is, understand that there is a system to get your mind wired right so that you do the things that you know you need to do consistently. This was my biggest challenge for 5 years. Why did I struggle? Well, for 4 years, the biggest struggle I had was my inner game. I couldn't seem to break through the fears. I couldn't seem to get the consistency down. After about 4 years, I finally figured out how to figure those out. It took me another year to develop the leadership. I got good at recruiting after year 4, spent a year throwing mud up against the wall to see what sticks, and not hardly any stuck. And so then I mastered leadership. And so inner game is one. We dive deep into inner game. And here's what frustrated me over the years is all the leaders would say, success is attracted by the person that you become. You got to have a why that makes you cry. You got to believe. All these general things that had no meaning, that didn't help me. It sounded good, made them sound good, but it didn't actually help me. And so what I did, like I'm kind of an obsessed maniac when it comes to developing frameworks. Like specifically, what do you do to rewire your brain? What do you do to get your mind wired right? And so I developed a concept called psychological fuel stacking. And so it's a number of different things. It's not go read a bunch of personal development books, go to a bunch of seminars. It's good to read books. It's good to go to seminars, but you need a structured personal development plan. And without that, you end up like most network marketers, 90%, 80, 90% of them never achieving success because they're doing the shotgun approach to personal development. So I created a structured program that we teach inside our inner circle for the inner game. Second is our tactical skills, being able to master the 7 key skills that are required to earn 6 figures in network marketing, including our social recruiting system. And so when social media came out, it was one of those where I was like, this is the future. This I got to figure out. And so like a madman, I figured it out, sponsored well over 400 people on social media, which led to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people. And so we teach that social recruiting system inside of our inner circle. And then finally, the third pillar is leadership, mastery in leadership, so that you're not just good at recruiting. If you get good at recruiting, you have a low paying job. If you don't create duplication. And so what are the frameworks? And my challenge was all the leaders were like, oh, read books on leadership. And so I'd read all the John Maxwell books and I'd read all these different leadership books. And it was all stuff borrowed from the corporate world. You need to have courage, enthusiasm, all of these general things, but nothing that applied specifically to network marketing. So over the course of being 20 years full-time, earning about $20 million, I developed leadership frameworks, levels of leadership. Here's the level you're at. Most people have no idea what level of leadership they're at. They have no idea how to get to the next level. They don't know what to focus on at each level. They don't know how to troubleshoot themselves, so they certainly don't know how to troubleshoot their team. So what if you had mastery in leadership with real frameworks that made you a master in leadership, like a surgeon, where you know exactly how to dial someone in? One of the biggest challenges that we have in our profession is no one knows how to mentor anyone else. And so that's what we teach in the inner circle, is how to not only figure it out yourself, but how do you mentor other people so you equip them to succeed as well? Because it's leadership creation that creates what we ultimately want, which is freedom and insignificance. Like, we want to do something that makes us feel insignificant, but you want to be insignificant to the growth of your organization because of the leadership you've created. So if you guys want to, and again, this is not for everyone, this is for 6-figure earners, multiple 6-figure earners, or if you're radically committed to being one, drop the word mentorship in the comments. I've got a couple coaches who I work with, and they'll get on the phone with you, see if you qualify, and if it's a fit, then they'll recommend you to our inner circle. It's nothing that you can just buy publicly. You actually have to apply. You got to go through a process, because we have got a freaking amazing group of leaders. And so not only do you get the coaching and the training, coaching with me every week, live calls with myself and our 2 other $1 billion earner coaches every week, specific frameworks. I even hired a network marketer certified transformational coach that will help guide you along your journey. It is the most transformational coaching program in the world today in network marketing that I have certainly ever seen. And so if you're interested, drop the word mentorship below. We'll reach out, see if it might be a fit for you. And if so, look forward to getting to know you. And listen, let's be back next week, Wednesday, 2 o'clock. And let me know. Also, always love to hear the biggest nugget that you got out of the training. So feel free to drop that in the comments, and I'll read through all of them later on. Appreciate you guys. Have an amazing rest of the day. Take care.